The writing that you see here and on arena flag is Latin for if you want peace, prepare for war, but it can also translate to if you want peace, overcome or conquer yourself. If you pay attention during the opening animation, it is clear that the Phantom Thieves are represented as a bullet. This explains that the symbol on the door is a bullet inside the gun chamber. There's actually more to this symbolism, but let's save that for last, as you will definitely appreciate it more after learning about everything I am about to explain. The name Marie is slightly a play on word Marie, which means married in French, which is interesting but not so surprising, as it is a French version of the English name Mary and the Latin name Maria. With that said, the name fit well with her white wedding dress design and the French kingdom theme. During Marie or our attack, the word kneel or die can be seen on the collar she's carrying. It is also possible that Marie is named after Marie Antoinette, the last queen of France before the French Revolution.
And thus, unhappy citizens are truly nothing but useless, no, injurious to this country. Now tell me.
Yoshiki Kasukabe is a long-standing member of the Diet, and his trans-kill nature has earned him the nickname Buddha Kasukabe, which parallels his look in the metaverse. The cognative Yoshiki wear a white kimono with a Tokugawa clan emblem behind it, and the founder of the clan is none other than Tokugawa Ieyasu, who was named one of the 3 great unifiers of Japan, as well as the first shogun of the Tokugawa shogunate. The golden wheel symbol on his kimono is called Dhammachakra, which is a widespread symbol used in Hinduism, Jainism, and Indian Buddhism to symbolize the maintenance of what has been established. In Buddhism, the third eye is said to be located around the middle of the forehead and is regarded as the eye of consciousness. It's often symbolized a state of enlightenment. However, in the case of Yoshiki, it seemed to symbolize the strict vision and control he has over his son and the citizen of his kingdom. Yoshiki can also manifest multiple golden arms from his back, reminiscent that of Avalokiteshvara. According to a Buddhist legend, Avalokiteshvara has 1,000 arms because he vowed to save all suffering beings. Avalokiteshvara's 1,000 arms are not display of power, but manifestation of compassion. They reach out to touch, heal, and uplift.
I'm done for. I'm done for! Is that what you hope to hear?
There's actually not much to say about Ishiro Nakabashi in regard of hidden meaning or facts, since he's not even the real ruler of the kingdom, but that's actually the cool part about him because unlike other boss fight, Nakabashi fight actually has a reward, a small hint that he's not the final boss of the third kingdom.
The name's Arena. And I am the one who will see you overthrown!
If you remove Sihara from the name Eri Nasihara, you get Erina, which I'm sure you already know, right? Also, from now on, I'm going to refer to the real-life counterpart as Eri, and Erina for, well, Erina. Anyway, her drawing skill, while much better than mine, seems to be pretty poor in terms of perspective, but it does go well with her cheerful and rowdy personality, and this contrasts heavily with Toshiro, as you can see that his drawing are like blueprints plan, drawn with straight line and are well organized. The left leg of Arena is protected by the metal sabaton. While it's function fine, it could be a parallel appearance to her real-world crippled legs after the Nakabashi incident. Her hair also covers her right eye, just like the bandage in the hospital scene. As shown in the hospital flashback and the second form of Shadow Toshiro, it's heavily implied that Eri's right eye can no longer see. But while Erina covers her right eye, her eyes is still functional. More about this later, and the reason is pretty cool, I promise. Lavenza and Morgana describe Erina to have element of a persona, a shadow, and a cognitive being, due to being based on a figure in Toshiro's life in appearance and personality. She also displays autonomy and retains her personality, and can revert back to her original appearance even after awakening to her power as a persona. This unique assumption is quite similar to that of Metis from Persona 3 Face the Answer, as Metis is the suppressed side of Aegis that briefly exists independently of Aegis, while Aegis is able to summon personas. This is similar how Toshiro was able to have a shadow self and a persona at the same time, and Erina is able to exist independently of Toshiro during his time in the cognitive world. Ernesto is a persona modeled after Ernesto Che Guevara, which is not just a random dude you usually see on a wall on your way to school or work, but an Argentine Marxist revolutionary. He is recognized as a major figure of Cuban Revolution, and his commercial visage on merchandise has become an unique cultural symbol of rebellions and global insignia. Eri, when read in Japanese, is Eri, and the first two letters of Ernesto is written with the same letters. Just like Erina design, the larger revolver in place of Ernesto legs represent Eri's crippled leg, which is a good hint that she was able to move in the final cutscene thanks to the prosthetic legs.
Who are you?
That's what I was gonna ask.
While Toshiro wear a white glove on his right hand, Erina wear a fingerless black glove on her left hand. This somewhat is a hint that they are the same person. However, in the hospital scene, it was Eri's right hand that was bandaged. With that said, this is quite a big speculation on my part, since some people say that her left arm is not damaged. To me, it's nearly look more like it's entirely gone after the shoulder. And yes, you could see it's there in the ending animation. However, it is also possible that there was a time when they were designing her to lose that entire arm, as game development process usually will involve change. Ernesto model sheet also is drawn without her left arms, and why this is not uncommon in the industry, if the right arm and left arm are identical to save space and time, it is much more common to have both arms drawn. With that, when it's come to Persona 5 Tactica, some character is being drawn with both arms, and some are not. Feel free to let everyone know what your thoughts are on this in the comments. Interestingly, after fully awakening to his persona, Toshiro's appearance does not change at all. This makes him the only character in the Persona 5 series of spin-off to keep his normal attire on. When talking to bedridden Eri, his right hand is covered in bandage, implying that he hurt his hand trying to save her. This resulted in his decision to wear gloves to hide a scar at some point after the events. While logical, this makes sense, but it's also a great symbolism of him being ashamed of his past, and he's not just wearing the glove to hide from others, but also trying to keep himself from remembering the events.
So, have you finally remembered everything, Toshiro?
Shadow Tochiro's eyes are yellow like other Shadow, however not long after he revealed himself, they change from yellow to white, showing that he is being influenced by Samael. Even when confronted by a real-life counterpart, Shadow Toshiro does not become a persona, unlike many others in the series, but this is because the persona aspect of the Shadow has manifested itself into Erina. One of Shadow Tochiro's power is to control dirty bandages, represent how impure he thinks of his past and how much time he spent with it. After Toshiro damaged Shadow Tochiro's right hand, rather than a visible scar or anything underneath, it is depicted as black void, showing how this aspect of Toshiro absolutely refused for this event with Eri to be part of him. When Shadow Toshiro was in Eri form, its right eye appeared hollow, suggesting that Eri permanently lost her right eyesight after the incident. However, Erina's right eye, which was covered by hair, is shown to be functional. This symbolized the conflict within Toshiro. While his shadow self believed Eri will never see again with her right eye, his hopeful and rebellious aspect manifests in Erina believe there is a possibility her eyes will heal. But what about you? Do you believe in Toshiro's pessimistic aspect or his hopeful side? Shadow Toshiro in Eri form also has similar posture to Shadow Teddy true form, using only the upper visible body and both arms to hold itself up, along with a delayed charge slamming attack that allowed the player time to react.
Seriously? What? I have a bad feeling about this.
During the game opening animation, it's technically shown that Erina, Toshiro, and his shadow are the same person. The distortion of the TV in the beginning links to the time of the train arrival at the station during the Eri and Nakabashi incident. The newscaster freeze, unable to say anything but 6, showcasing how Toshiro is still haunted by the event and unwilling to move on. This also connects to the cup being frozen in place at the beginning. And as Toshiro rediscovers his dark past and regain his memories, the school crumble and the clock tower appear. The clock arm can be seen revert back to the time before 6 o'clock, paralleling Toshiro reliving his past up to the moment before the incident. However, as the clock struck 6 p.m., it's refused to move forward. Tojiro saving Erina isn't just him reliving the past of saving Eri from falling to her death on the track. Saving her again signifies understanding the trauma and pain he will bring upon himself and Eri, leaving part of her body paralyzed. Even so, he's now accept his past as part of him. This intensifies when Erina, who can be symbolized as the wake of Tojiro's past, is seen causing Tojiro pain as he tries to hold on to her. But when Erina tells him to let go,
Your hand! Let go!
he refuses. As he accepts everything about his past, his glove then rips apart, revealing his scar from trying to save Eri.
I take care of business.
Showing his resolve and resolution and how he fully believed what Eri said, that's what they did was not a mistake. And with that, the clock moved past 6 o'clock. And as Tojiro accepts the negative part he's once tried to hide, just like many in the series, his persona awakened. A pretty cool turn of events. But we're not done yet. There's more interesting stuff I'd like to share that you might have missed. Lavenza Vivid Room take the shape of steampunk workshop, likely to match the gear theme due to it being affected by Tojiro cognition and some Samael stuff that the game vaguely explained. It's later become a train, and while you might think it's just mimicking the train theme from Tojiro Pass, you have to remember that it show up after the clock moved past 6 PM. I'm sure that in Tojiro mind, the train is also frozen at the station, just like everything that continued to haunt him to this day. However, as Tojiro has the resolve to move forward, he bought the train that traveled into the sky to face his final adversary.
Well, hello, everyone.
One of the most interesting facts that the game hint at is that Tojiro, while experienced a lot of trauma, always managed to recover, and the fire in his heart never stopped burning. Remember that Eri incident is not the first traumatizing event in his life. Tojiro's mother died in front of him as he sneaked her out to a theme park. Imagine being a little kid and having that happen to you, the guilt you must feel, thinking that you are partially to blame for the death of your own mother. However, despite the incident, during high school, even before meeting Eri, Tojiro put himself in between a student getting mugged and the delinquents. And while Eri herself thinks that eventually Tojiro will break, which he does to some degree, but not completely, as he still is able to think about convicting his father for his wrongdoing after being inspired by the Phantom Thief. This shows that his heart never changed, and while the flame is weakened, it won't be extinguished. More interestingly, Tojiro putting himself in danger to help fellow students is exactly what Maruki suggests not to do in Persona 5 Royal. With that said, Samael's original plan was to weaken Tojiro so that he would submit to its will, but Tojiro is able to manifest whatever little courage and hope he has into Erina to fight back. And what do you know, it is Erina who opened the sail that hold Tojiro captive at the beginning of the story.
We've come to save you.
When Erina is slowly disappearing as her job is complete and the whole kingdom has been revolutionized, Tojiro let her know that he will not falter anymore and will always do what he believes in, despite how many times he got knocked down. Even with this self-confidence that he will be fine on his own, he let Erina know that he wants her to always watch over him and continue to be part of him as long as he lives, which Erina then accepts.
Erina, I won't doubt myself anymore. No matter how many times I get knocked down, no matter how many times I falter, I'll follow the path I believe in. Will you? Watch over me.
Apart from Shadow Tojiro's eyes turning white, there are several more hints that Samael was behind the whole event. Many Legionnaire correlations are partly white and grey, just like Shadow Tojiro's eyes. Furthermore, upon defeating each boss, they disappear along with the white feather effects. Talking about eyes, it's likely that the eyes in the beginning of the opening animations is a reference to Samael, who is overseeing the whole event. It is also similar looking to the logo of the anti-social force from Persona 5. According to Morgana, the gear found in the metaverse represent the will of the masses. The term the masses, in this case, refers to the ordinary people in society who function similarly to gears, sticking together as one move another. Persona 5 Tactica used this symbolism to tell the story that the idea created by the masses are not always the best one, as they can stem from self-interest, in this case, the idea of self-preservation. It's preferable to risking getting hurt or even losing one life to fight against unfairness. But it's up to you how you feel about it. And since this is not a philosophy discussion video, I'm only here to explain the message. With that, the term is often used to refer to a lower class or weaker individual who do not have the power or will to make a change, thus needing figures such as celebrity, rich people, royalty, or political leader to inspire them to move in the right direction. During the final fight, Erina is being attacked by multiple gear, symbolizing the burden that one has to go through to go against the will of the masses. However, she is able to break free as Toshiro calls out to her, paralleling what I just explained to you. Furthermore, it is good to know that Toshiro inspiring Erina to stand with him to fight is a parallel to when she told him to stand up for himself during the fight against Shadow Toshiro.
The hope she placed in you, it's still right here. So please, please, stand up, Toshiro! Stand up!
So please, lend me your strength. Stand with us one more time! Erina!
These two events, along with others, show that both aspects of Toshiro will always pull one another up when one falls, which added to his final request for Erina to watch over him. And here is the coolest symbolism of all. While it is clear that the symbol on the doll is a bullet in its chamber, the chamber shape looked pretty much like the shape of the gear. So, did you remember when I explained that the bullet is the symbol of the Phantom Thief? With that, I'd like to leave you with one final thing, and that is, as we load a bullet into a chamber, or in this case, the will of the masses, it will one day, without a fail, escape the chamber. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.
Do you honestly just not care?